Good evening. Uh, this video is being made in light of recent events, and there is a disclaimer that this is not a medical presentation and no advice here replaces any medical advice. In case of a medical condition, you must go to a medical hospital and seek appropriate treatment. What we are trying to do here is just explain to you the regular prevention that you should be taking and how to keep your immune system to an optimum so that you can fight any invisible invaders. If you see some of my YouTube channel videos, you will find there's also a video on the invisible invaders. The invisibles are not just the virus, it's the bacteria. There are so many other things. There are Wi-Fi signals, there are high frequencies, and we can call them the invisible hosts, things that you cannot see with your eyes. So first, some people think that the COVID virus is worse than the SARS. But you must take into consideration SARS happened in 2003. And at that time, one of the main environmental factors was only the 2G cellular networks. And today is 4G. So we are lucky that we don't have 5G yet. So I will comment on this a little bit later down the line. But first of all, to let you understand what a virus is. Actually, viruses are born in any living being, be it animal or a human, bird or anything. And viruses are basically mutated cells. That means they don't have a cellular organism of their own. And in a way, they are neither living nor they are dead. They are in between, like something between the sky and the earth, something in between, right? So we can't call them dead and we can't call them living. But once viruses have been produced by mutation of cells, they need a host so that they can continue to live. And that is what we are trying to find. We don't want to be the host to the virus that is spreading. So basically, you are trying to avoid being a host to the virus. And there are many things you can do to protect yourself. And you will see here that there are also a lot of techniques we teach how you can protect yourself. And these viruses, although they are neither living nor they are dead, but they always look for a suitable host, right? Now, the type of host that they need is actually somebody who is not that healthy. That means the host should have weak immunity, and the viruses can detect that. The host should be scared, right? Because the viruses has that smartness that it wants to live. It doesn't want to go into a very healthy body, right? Because it's going to be finished there. So the viruses are always looking for people who are in fear, right? Or who are unwell. Their immune systems are compromised. And we actually don't fully understand about how our immune system is getting compromised. One of the main factors, other than bad lifestyle and not taking care of yourself, there are emotional factors too. One who's under a lot of stress his immune system gets compromised. If you are in the emotion of anger, after a burst of anger, your immunity literally collapses. And basically, we have two immune systems. One is we have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Only one of them can work at a time. When the sympathetic system is on, the parasympathetic is switched off. Now, what is the sympathetic nervous system? The sympathetic system is the fight and flight mechanism. It is the mechanism which cuts in when you are under stress, when you are under strong emotions, right? And that is the time when you are rushing, all the time rushing to do something. And that is the time, so it's the fight. If a tiger attacks you, you need that. So your body has its own system where everything goes in for your fight. But during this period, your healing system is switched off, right? So one who is forever in stress all the time, he doesn't get a chance to rest, relax and recover. So fortunately, we are having this time when there is a lockdown that we can relax at home, right? And you go into your meditation, have a good sleep, relax, do things that you enjoy. And this cuts in your parasympathetic nervous system where your immunity works at its optimum and healing can take place. This is what happens when you're in deep sleep. Therefore, it is always recommended to sleep well. Sleeping well is your healing time, right? So if you take care of this, you yourself will improve your ability to heal yourself. Okay. The high risk areas within the body are basically all the exposed surfaces, your hands, your face, and all openings in your body. Openings are mouth, nose, and eyes, right? So this is where the virus gets in from. On the surface of the skin, it's usually the tips of the fingers. When you go out and you touch a surface, you're in a taxi, bus, or a shop anywhere, where you put your hand, there could be a virus sitting there, and you pick it up on the tips of your fingers. And then at some time, you put it on your mouth or eyes, and it's gone into your body. That is the reason that we are sanitizing. The touch is the most risky. And then, of course, the rest of the openings we have to take care of. So here I will explain what type of protection we are using. One is this type of mask. It's a disposable mask. This is called a 3-layer mask, right? And on the top of it is a wire which should be on the top side. This wire can be clamped down so that it locks in on the nose. Now you'll also notice that one side of this mask is colored. It could be green or blue, and the other side is white. Most people do not know which side the mask should be worn in which condition. Generally, the mask is worn with the colored side out because you have these layers here. You have 3 layers here, and the inside part is the filter. The white part is the filter. So you put on this mask around your ear and you press it on your nose. So what happens here is it's sealed up above your nose, so your nose and your mouth is protected, but your eyes are still open. Now, of course, what I am telling you is an addition to what is all in the media. You should wear glasses if you want protection. You can wear even a plain glass. It is just to protect something from going into the eyes. They're actually special glasses made from plastic which people use when they are doing some pesticide sprays. So you have glasses and then your eyes are protected too, right? Now, this mask, if you are having no infection, this mask, the colored side should be out if you want to protect yourself from outside, from somebody who's infected, who comes in front of you, and the transmission happens either through the touch or when the person is speaking, you have drops of saliva droplets flying, and this is going to protect it, right? So this mask is when you are not infected, but you are protecting yourself. In the event that you are the one who is infected and you don't want to pass on your infection to the other side, then the mask should be reversed and the white side should be outside and the colored side should be inside, like this. Okay? But generally, it is the colored side outside. Now also bear in mind that these masks are disposable masks. These triple layer masks are disposable and they should not be reused. They have a life of approximately 8 hours. After 8 hours use, continuous use, they should be wrapped up, covered up with a tissue and disposed. One of the most dangerous things, especially in India, is people spitting. That is the most dangerous thing. There should be the heaviest penalties for people who spit, because that's how the virus travels, right? So from place to place, wherever people want to maintain good hygiene, there should be dustbins provided. And these masks should be wrapped up with a tissue paper and then disposed in the dustbin. And everybody should be carrying some tissue paper with you in case you have an urge to spit. You remove the tissue, spit in the tissue, wrap it nicely and dispose it in the bin, okay? You are not to spit outside. These masks are not readily available everywhere. They may work out a bit expensive. So what I have seen today, most people wearing are these cloth masks. These cloth masks. Actually, I don't know how good they are, but I do know there is a full plastic surface here and there is a cloth here. So these masks probably could be worn like this. I've not generally been using this. It also has a clip on the ear and it covers your face and nose, right? Now the thing with these masks is you should keep a few of them, not just one, because like the disposable mask, the life of this is before reuse would be 8 to 12 hours. So I recommend that you keep about 3 of these masks, and 2 or 3 times a day you remove the mask and wash it thoroughly, sanitize it, and then use the next one. So on. So always use a clean mask. The first time when you get this mask, it should also be washed and sanitized before the first use, because we do not know. I have seen them just lying around in the shops and we just buy it and put it on, but we don't know the process it has gone through. They are not sealed, right? So please use this precaution of disinfecting this type of mask if you're using this, and then continue using it after cleaning it periodically. Now this is on masks. Now you have protected your nose, your mouth and your eyes with some glasses, eye protectors, and your hair you protect with a cap like this. You get disposable headgear, right? And again, the clothes are important. When you go out, you do not know where you may have picked up the virus on your clothes. So when you come to your home, kindly, the first thing you do when you get inside your house is shed your clothes down to your underclothes right at the door. Do not mix your clothes with other clothes. Once you have worn them outside, discard those clothes, send them for the washing immediately. Do not put them in your cupboard again. Okay, the clothes have to be periodically cleaned, and you can't infect all your clothes by putting the clothes you have worn when you return, and then you have infected your other clothes. So the clothing is important. So strip at the entrance and change into something else. Wash yourself. Okay, wash yourself. Now we're going to talk about washing. Okay, sanitizing yourself. Most people are sanitizing the hands. They already know. They show you on the TV. Now there is a subtle difference between sanitizing with alcohol and hand washing. Okay. Now all surfaces of our skin have a lot of friendly bacteria on the skin. This bacteria is there to protect us, right? That is the reason washing hands is different. When we wash our hands thoroughly, the bacteria does not die. It clings to the skin. It holds on to you, right? Or even if some bacteria is washed out after you have cleaned your hands, your remaining bacteria from your skin will replace it for your protection. Whereas sanitizing with alcohol is done to destroy any microbes that you may have picked up when you were outside. Correct? So, I will show you the hand washing first, how to wash hands thoroughly. Okay? Now, when we are washing hands, preferably these round taps should not be used. If possible, any new taps installed should be half-turn taps, preferably the ones you see in the hospitals, which can be put on with the elbow. You can do it with the elbow. You don't even have to touch it. Because those round taps, when you touch with your hand, it's very messy. You are transmitting so many microbes, okay, from your hand to the tap and the tap to the hand. So now we have the middle part here. This is also a half-turn tap, but I don't need to put my whole hand on it. I can just put it on with a finger or with a little push. It has a little lever on it. But preferably, if you're installing new wash basins, you should have taps with a longer handle which you can move with your elbow or another part of your body. So before you go to wash your hands, I would recommend that you use the sanitizer first on the handle. Okay, you have to sanitize the handle before you touch it. So here I am going to sanitize this handle with the alcohol spray. And then I am going to open the water just with a slight touch. Use liquid soap. Just soap will do. Liquid soap or Dettol or antiseptic soap. And you squirt on your hand. Wet your hand. And first is the standard washing by rubbing two hands. Okay? The total hand washing process should take 20 to 30 seconds at least. And then between your fingers, can you see? Between your fingers, okay? Between your fingers again. And then your thumb to be washed separately. And then again your other thumb to be washed separately. Then the back of your hand. The back of the other hand, and then your tips of your fingers, the tips of your fingers. So assuming we have done it for over 20 seconds, okay, you got all these steps, and then you can move a little bit on your wrist so nothing travels up your arm, okay, and then you put in water and you rinse everything. You can shut the tap again with a little flip of the back of your finger. It's shut. And I prefer to just drip dry. Or you have a clean towel, you can use a clean towel. Okay. Now, this was sanitizing your hands. And again, wash your hand when you're home. So when you're home, you don't need to keep sanitizing all the time. Just washing hands is enough. But when you are coming from outside, right, you must sanitize first. You must sanitize the door handles at your door, whatever you touch. And then after that, wash hands frequently, right? Just washing hands with soap and water does not destroy the good bacteria which is there on your skin. Now, this is just what you should do. But over and above that, because we do not know how long this viral infection pandemic is going to last. Nobody knows. Because these are difficult times. We have abused the nature so much. And we have so much of environmental stress, which I will talk about. Environmental stress, which makes things worse. That is why COVID-19 is appearing a lot more lethal and widespread than the SARS, which happened about 17 years ago, right? That time was different. So the environment is changing every year, changing to be more adverse for our health. So now we have a few techniques. I am a practitioner of energy medicine using the BodyTalk system. The BodyTalk system is very well known outside India and European countries. It is based on consciousness and energy medicine. It's non-invasive. It is harmless. And fortunately, recently in India, people have started understanding this too. And I am just by chance happen to be the only instructor to teach this BodyTalk system. I'm licensed to teach this system anywhere in the world, but I'm the only one in India who can do it. Otherwise, we have to call instructors from overseas who are very expensive. But lately, the BodyTalk energy medicine is being understood and accepted well by a lot of open-minded people. In fact, we had very successful classes in Delhi, and half the students were medical doctors and the other half were other type of healthcare practitioners. And we are fortunate that we have two very young, brilliant doctors in Delhi and Jaipur who have now become also BodyTalk practitioners, licensed practitioners. So this is something this is the new age medicine. All future medicine or all future healthcare is going to be based on energy medicine. Okay, the old system, you need something else also to support the present medical system. So here, if you see the simple chart, we usually have a one-day course of 6 hours where we teach these techniques. Anybody can learn, and then you can be in a very optimum state of health and protect yourself. And specifically for what we are concerned with right now, we have a technique called switching. This switching techniques optimizes the threshold of your system, that you don't get overstressed too quickly. You'll find some people overreact very fast and some people don't react at all. So we have to balance with that threshold of your stress threshold, what we call. So switching helps that. And then we have, exactly relevant to what we are talking, is a body chemistry technique, the body chemistry. Now, generally this type of viruses don't show up in the blood test for at least 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You could have been infected. Nothing will show up. But the medical test will only show it after 2 weeks. But we have a brilliant system in body chemistry, BodyTalk system, where our saliva, because the saliva shows it almost immediately. So long before a blood test has shown it, we are aware from the saliva of the body as to the condition of the person. Now, this body chemistry technique is also something that you can learn. Of course, we are trying to put this short course online so that more people can benefit, but unfortunately We haven't got the permission yet, but if this happens, I can do this online. But for now, it is a 6-hour class to learn this whole thing. And now I will just show you. Now, this is the chart of the entire BodyTalk system, the protocol that we follow. Even here we have body chemistry, right? And we identify its microbes, toxins, allergens, intolerances. If it's microbes, is it viruses, bacteria, okay, fungi, parasites? So if the body indicates there is a virus, then there is a technique on how to balance your system to fight the virus. So this technique is done by just putting a saliva on your navel. Your navel is the center of your body, the highest energy point. Once you put your saliva on the navel, with our techniques, we are able to identify whether any virus needs to be addressed. And then we do the technique so that your body is at an optimum stage and zeroes in on fighting that bacteria. Okay, so now, other than this, there are some other things you can do which will help you. Is your diet. How do you eat? Your lifestyle. This also plays an important part. So fighting the virus is not just some technique. The medicines, of course, don't help, but it is mind, body, and what you take inside your body. Okay? All things are relevant. Now, in diets, I would say the most important thing is to stop taking refined white sugar. Okay? This is the biggest enemy. So I know it's tough for many people. Find the alternative. A sweetener is not an alternative, except stevia. Okay? So don't think you're taking a sweetener is going to be any good. It may be better to just take the real sugar. Okay? So sugar is very damaging to the immune system. And your diet should be good, fresh food. Avoid meats. Avoid eating meat. Avoid taking too much dairy. Okay? Dairy is not good. It forms, there are a lot of issues. I can go on, that's another subject, another video, I can take it up. And avoid, or not avoid, do not consume carbonated drinks. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is something we try to take out of our body, but most people are trying to take carbon dioxide inside through sodas, Pepsis, and other type of aerated drinks. So kindly do not take carbonated sugared drinks. And I think these couple of basic things will go a long way in keeping you in optimum health to be able to fight any invisible invaders. Another thing, invisible invaders. It reminds me, what are the biggest invisible invaders in your house? Your Wi-Fi. Kindly switch off your Wi-Fi at night when you sleep, okay? And keep your cell phone a distance away from your bed, from your body. And even during the daytime, kindly do not carry the cell phone on your body. You have to be very brave to do that. I know people carry it in the top pocket of their shirt. They must be really brave. Kindly don't do that. Another thing is the lighting. Today, LED lights have become so common, right? Yes, but are they good? No. LEDs, a time is going to come soon when people understand it, they will be phased out. The reason being, the LEDs emit a hidden blue light, which you cannot see, it is in the spectrum. The large component is the blue light. And this blue light is very damaging for your health, your brain, your immunity. And that is the reason, try not to keep any very bright, don't look into them. Don't look into them. They can make you blind. Okay? Try to use yellow lights, right? Dim lights. And also, on some of your electronic devices, your set-top boxes, your TVs, if they have a blue light, shining there, small tiny blue light, LED blue, kindly tape it. Kindly tape it so that it's not visible. That blue light too is very damaging to you. So I wish you can fight, you can identify, I have helped you to identify so many invisible invaders to you. So please take care, and anytime you're interested in going ahead with what I teach, you are most welcome. Thank you very much. Namaste.